How's it going, everybody? Another set of videos here. This one is building guitars without a real shop, and this is going to be the first video. This is going to be basic hand tools. This right here, and not even all of these, is probably 60, 70, 80% of all the tools I need to build a guitar. Let's see. Starting at the top, I don't really use the hacksaw, and you almost never use the regular hand saw. If it's a little small and tight for a circular saw, you might use a hand saw. Jigsaw is great for cutting like paneling and laminate and pickguard material. This here is your standard concave fret file. But for crowning frets, I don't really like that so much for crowning frets. You got to be careful not to take the top off the fret, but I find it's really nice for rounding fret ends. And of course you got your hammer there for installing frets. You got your fret slotting file, basic set of chisels, wire stripper, radius gauges, Shinto saw rasp, some small files. Occasionally I'll use one or two of these. Never actually use these. I don't really need them up there at all. And these guys here, yeah, you can press them in. I usually just hammer them. Basic hammer, aviation shears for cutting like brass for shims, stuff like that. A couple sizes of needle nose, a pair of dikes, the regular pliers go here, and 10mm wrench. This fits like tuning keys, fret nippers, basic selection of flat blade and Phillips head screwdrivers, scratch awl, reamer. And then these down here, these are two bags of small tools. I'll just dump them out right there. Let's see what we got here. We got a mini hammer, clip-on tuner, string winder that I made myself out of wood. Yeah, a small set of calipers. And that's about it. Some razor blade for cutting stuff. Got some tape on it, help protect your fingers. And a bunch of Allen wrenches for doing truss rods. That's about it. This other one over here, you got your protractor. Also got a small, where do I put it here? Somewhere around here I got a small triangle. It's good for laying stuff out. Set of metric Allen wrenches. Knife, don't really use that much. What else we got in here? Let me dump it out. Feeler gauges. I'm using these things for setting action. For setting string heights, saddles and such. A couple of files for filing frets and stuff like that. I don't really use those too much. I mostly do pretty much everything with that and the leveling beam. As far as like other little tools, let's see, we got a brush for brushing away sawdust, we got a fret rocker, got some fret protectors for when you're polishing frets, got a wire brush, got a razor knife. These are not up here right now, but they're fret puller protectors. If you're going to pull a fret, the idea is you start pulling it and then you slide this under and then finish pulling it, and it'll help avoid tear out. What I actually use these for, though most, is to check my nut slot height when I'm installing either like a roller or a lock nut, in order to make sure I've got my nut at the correct height. And they're great for that because a fret rocker is too wide to fit into the nut slot. These are nice and thin and they're straight, and stuff like that. Then string space, gauge, but I never really use that. I just do the math and mark it out. Usually it works out to about 7 or 8 millimeters between strings for your typical guitar. Over here you got fret gauge for, like, you know, Fender scale length and stuff, and marking out where your frets go. You got the classic, ultimate classic in guitar building tools, your not straight edge there for checking to make sure your fretboard is straight. And of course just a regular meter stick, straight edge. Couple clamps and alligator clips. These things are absolutely indispensable when you're debugging electronics or testing electronics, stuff like that. And that's about it for the small tools. And yeah, so yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot. And like I said, I do the majority of work just using these tools right here. Just this stuff right here. And I've got a box of larger tools that's got stuff like the drill bit index in it and a hand drill and things like that. I'll show that in another video. Then I've got a third box which has power tools, things like an electric drill and a circular saw, basic stuff like that. A small router, things of that nature, a Dremel. And then the only thing I've got in the way of really big tools, and these are two things that I just bought, is I've got a small drill press and I've got a small portable table saw. But I've been doing guitar builds now for almost 2 years, and I've done a lot of builds. As you can see, there's probably 30 guitars hanging up on the wall there, half of which maybe I built, and I've only just started using this on the last couple of builds, and only for doing just little things like drilling holes on control panels and stuff. I find that this is good to help avoid tear out if I'm drilling holes on like a wood control panel or something. Like I just finished doing that on this. That's the reason why the drill's set up. So, but anyway, yeah. So, you know, all the time I'm seeing all these videos and the guys are like, oh, we're gonna make this, make that, and they whip out like, you know, the laser CNC machine and all this other crazy stuff. You don't really need all that. I mean, it's like, here, hold on a second. Clear out junk. You take a look here. This is the Workbench. It's nothing but a plain old computer desk from Walmart, and yeah, that's the Workbench. As you can see, I tend to watch YouTube build videos while I'm doing my own builds. Find it's a good way to keep you in the right frame of mind. So, and this is all I build all my guitars right on this desk. That's all there is to it. You don't have to have, you know, $1 billion worth of tools or a lot of space. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of space in this place. This entire shed is only 8 by 24. So I've only got 198 square feet here to work with totally for everything. And it's not all devoted to guitar shop or anything like that either. It's like I've got this section of tools, and I've got 2 boxes over there of tools, and that's about it really for tools. And then I've got 1 box of parts, and I've got 1 box that's got like a bag of parts for every guitar that's currently under current build for all guitars under construction. So I've got a box of spare parts, and I've got a box of parts for builds I'm doing right now. And I'm usually doing half a dozen builds or so at any time. So you can see like this here. That's going to be the body for one of the curved tri guitars. This one here, you can see, is further along. This one's actually got some of the routing and drilling work done. This one's gonna, so I recall, this one's gonna get a Floyd Rose in it. So that's going to be an interesting looking guitar. But anyway, just wanted to put this out there. I've been thinking about it for a while, and like I'm saying, you know, you see guys, they got, you know, sure, I made a guitar for $150 or made a body for $35, and I only used like $10,000 worth of tools, that kind of thing. You know, 99% of this stuff you buy either like your big box and all the other stuff. The basic tools I got, like a hammer, screwdriver, stuff like that, I got them from like big box stores, just for, you know, people have tools. And then when I started getting into making guitars, then all the special stuff I needed for guitars, I just got it on eBay, and you can find decent stuff there pretty cheap. So, you know, I don't think until I bought the drill and the table saw, I probably didn't even spend, you know, $100, $200 maybe on all the tools for guitars. So anyway, I'll be showing more videos with other stuff along this lines. The big hand tools, the electric tools, stuff like that. That'll be in different videos. Everybody have a good one. See y'all later. And yeah, I rambled.